Okay guys, welcome to this video and this voiceover. We're going to be training legs today. I actually literally just trained as I'm editing this video the same day. So give you a little bit of, we're starting off with calves here. Seated calf raise machine. I find I need to get calves in early because by the time the end of the leg session pretty much taxed too much and we're not going to be doing calves then. You want to just go home and get out the gym, get a meal down you. So try to fit calves in at the beginning of the session, and then I try to do them one at a time throughout the week, but it doesn't usually happen to be honest. I've been slacking on that. Um, but yeah, really good connection on this. My body weight is 161.8 pounds, I think, this morning. So we're 1.8 pounds off what I was in my first show. Today I've run like moderate carbohydrates, obviously because we train legs around about, well, I've got one meal left, so I'm going to finish on around 170 grams of carbohydrates, something like that. But we're digging, guys. Physique looked a bit tired today. Next, we're starting with the adductor out. I don't go crazy on the weight on this. I just really want a slow, controlled, slight pause at the bottom, slight pause at the top, and really just try and think about driving out with the glutes instead of using the legs so much. A lot of people I find use this machine, they go faster on the reps, and pretty much all your training is like your hips and your joints. Um, so in order to get the connection on your glutes, you need to, like, as soon as you start moving that weight, you want to be thinking about the glutes and just keeping that tension. And you don't need to drive out really, really wide. I find if you go past a certain point, it comes off the glutes anyway and just hits like in different areas where you don't really want the tension to go. And yeah, we try and typically on this, I try to go high repetitions, so just really working close to failure, and then a few partial reps on the end. As you can see here, I'm looking pretty lean at the moment. Like I said, we're digging. Feel like my physique was tired today. Looked really flat. Just looks less impressive, but it is what it is. That's part of the process of fat loss, guys. You've got to go through these periods of times where your physique is not looking the best. You're just flat. You're tired. You look like you're losing muscle, but basically it's like an illusion. You didn't have the muscle in the first place when you had typically a higher carb day and you filled the muscle glycogen stores out. It's kind of an illusion. It's fake. It's like I said, it's just glycogen stored in the actual muscle you have. You fill that muscle out and it gives it an illusion that it's bigger than what it actually is. And then when you diet, when you lose all that glycogen, the opposite direction, you really see like how small you actually look. But that's part of the process. I've done it a long time now, so I'm able to mentally switch off to that, just focus on the training and having a good session. So yeah, I'm really trying to bring my inner thigh muscle out a lot. Obviously, we're in a dieting phase now, so we're not going to really build muscle, but at least I can focus on detail and getting a good connection and slowly building muscle, I guess, over time, especially in the off season. Somewhere on my legs where I really want to improve. I want to build a lot of thickness and new muscle tissue, especially in that inner thigh. I feel like from the outer part of my leg, I'm looking pretty decent, but the inner thigh is a lot different. And yeah, lean forward on that exercise, guys. You feel like you get a lot better connection as you're leaning forward, and we're not feeling the hips again. So back on calves now. This machine is actually a hack squat machine, but I find it's really good to get a good connection on the calves. But you just have to make sure that you're using your trainers on this and don't do it barefoot because it's difficult on the feet. Again, I'm trying to slight pause, get a really good stretch on that bottom range of the movement, squeeze at the top, and just yeah, really get a burning sensation coming in the calves, and just try to push it for reps past that pain threshold. This leg session today is going to be a bit more hamstring and glutes focused. As I did a leg session, I looked back at my plan, and it was only around 4 days ago, but that session was heavily quad focused squats, and I only did like 2 machine movements for hamstring. So I was feeling today when I woke up that I wanted to train legs, and like I said, I wanted to hit a lot more hamstrings. So the main basis of this session, I just wanted to come in and do the RDL and the hip thrust, to be honest, and then maybe 1 or 2 quad movements after that if I was feeling like it. So yeah, this is the first proper movement. Well, actually, no, this is not. This is a movement that I've been adding in recently. Like I said to you previously, I want to try and grow that inner part of my thigh. So this is like a sumo squat. I think they call it goblet squat or sumo squat. But all I'm trying to do here is think about getting as much tension as possible in that inner thigh area. Like I said, it takes a lot of reps to do this. Typically, I don't like the way my back is. That was a warm-up set 32, and I believe we went for the 40s after. I did 2 working sets on this. The first working set, which I'm about to film now, having looked back at the form, I wasn't happy with the way, which is what you're going to see now, the way my back was rounding. However, I still felt like the movement was really controlled, and I was feeling a lot of tension where I want it in that inner thigh. I felt like it was safe enough, like it was no tension in my lower back whatsoever. And you want to lean forward a little bit, kind of sit on the weight, but I was probably doing that a little bit too much here in hindsight, looking back at the video. And then the following set, the set after this, that I didn't actually film, I kept my spine a little bit more upright. Again, still, we want to lean forward slightly. However, like as you can see here, it just gets progressively worse throughout the set. But I have to say, I was feeling a crazy burn and tension in the inner thigh, and that's what I was trying to hit here. So, been training a long time now, guys. Like, I'm strong enough in my core, even if the form doesn't look that great, less optimal, I'm able to do it within still a safe manner, and I know my limits. I know if I'm feeling a bad pain, then I'll adjust my form. But yeah, we want to keep that spine more upright on that. So yeah, this is like the first proper compound exercise that we're doing here. I've done a lot more weight on this before. I think I've done 100 kg plus. But today, I just felt like this was a good amount of weight. I did a warm-up set of 60 kg, and yeah, I was just trying to really focus on the control and tension. So I've kept the weight at 80 kg, I believe, here. The setup is a little bit difficult. It's a little bit awkward, but once you get the habit of it, that's pretty good. And what we're trying to do here is, like, just control the weight throughout. I'd really want to drive as much blood and tension into the glutes as possible. So if I feel like it's off on one side of my leg position, I'm squeezing one glute more than the other, I'll just adjust my feet positioning slightly. I'm trying to keep my chin tucked down, and I don't want my lower back to round whatsoever. We want to really keep a neutral flat spine, guys, and you're kind of dropping down with the weight, relax, nice and controlled. Like I could hold it here at the bottom as long as possible, because I'm keeping my core nice and tight. I'm not arching that lower back, and then we're just driving out with the glutes, and then a slight pause at the top part of the movement, just really squeezing there at the top. As you can see, it's quite difficult, this, and we're just going, and I'm not counting the reps. Like, I don't count the reps on most exercises. I just go to failure on most movements. It's not complete failure, but it's close enough. You know, we're putting in a good amount of volume, a good amount of work there, and that's all that you need. And I did 2 sets on this exercise, and then moved on to the next one. I didn't want to do RDL next, as I wanted to give myself. Oh, actually, I think I did do RDL next. Yeah, I did. But what I did do is I waited a long time rest in between that last exercise, because my glutes were pretty much taxed after that. You know, even a little bit of activation in the hamstrings during the hip thrust. So I waited and rested a long time, like I said, and then now we're hitting the RDL. Trying to keep it a little bit sooner in the session, because we want to, like, we want to get it out of the way when we've still got relatively good energy levels and so on. Again, on this movement, I've done 3 plates before, but for whatever reason today, I felt like 100 was good enough for myself. And that's what it's about, guys. You've got to have like flexibility with the way you train. You can't just follow a logbook method and progressive overload every time. Like some days you might feel a little bit tired. And listen, if you can get away and create a good stimulus with a lighter weight, then that's amazing, right? That's less pressure on the joints. And it's just overall better. Like that's why you have to listen to your body. I always say to every one of my clients, myself, listen to your body. If you feel like it's heavy enough, stick on it. If you feel like you can go heavier, then go heavier. But the key is making sure we get as much execution on the movement, on the muscle as possible, and stay injury free and train intensely. And yeah, I had a really good session, you know. Here I'm just trying to keep a neutral spine. I've got really long arms, so you might see that I'm going far down, but again, I'm really safe. I don't feel no tension in my lower back whatsoever, keeping the core nice and tight. Just focusing on trying to feel the hamstrings on the way down. Really good movement, the RDL, barbell RDL. I've been adding that in a lot of late. So then we went for, now we're moving on to the quad-based exercises. I didn't want to go too crazy. I just think I did like 2 working sets on this. Again, I've done heavier weight on this before, but we just went for 15 plate per side. And I'm just trying to drive as much blood into the quads now, focusing on, I'm training back tomorrow. I'm actually training with one of the guys from the gym. And that's another important day for myself, like a back session. So I didn't want to like fully drive my body into the ground today as I was feeling fatigued. However, we're still taking sets close to failure, like you're going to see here. Just maybe dropping the weight down a little bit. And on this, I just want to work that bottom range. As you can see, the good thing about this machine, we can get full knee flexion on this, drive as much blood into that quad in the lengthened range as possible. And then I'm not straightening my legs out at the top because the tension's going to drop off there, guys. The goal is just to smash the quads, you know. So I'm really focusing on that bottom part of the range. Whereas if I did a barbell squat, I'm going to extend the rep all the way to the top each time. Whereas on this, like I said, working that bottom range, try and get a slight pause at the bottom and then drive up. And I'm just trying to relax here. As the set goes on, it gets really, really tough, but I'm just relaxing. I'm taking it, it will finish when it finishes, you know. When I feel like I've drove enough blood into the quads, that's when the set will stop. And I get close to that, where as you could probably see there, we did 2 working sets on that. I'm filming the first working set on all these movements, guys, so you're not seeing the second working sets. You're seeing the one where I've got the most energy in. So potentially I'm going to drive the second set a little bit closer to failure, as I know it's the last one. So now I think we're moving on to the gym Leco again, quad focused. However, I do find this machine, you hit a good amount of stimulus in the glutes as well if you get a really good stretch at the top part of the movement. But I tend to, like on this one today, I think I just want to hit quads. So I shortened that range a little bit. Like as you can see here, I can drive that all the way where the stopper hits the stopper, you know. However, I cut it short because I just wanted to keep tension on the quads, and I'm really bracing, as you can see with my arms here. Like I'm keeping myself braced, pulling myself into the seat, into the chair, really controlling that negative, letting that weight just fall onto me slowly, driving as much blood into the quads as possible. And again, not speeding things up. It will fail. The set will fail whenever I feel like it's failed. But as you can see here, guys, there's a trend here. Like as long as we're training hard, intensely, and not short reps. Like I'm not even counting the reps here. I don't even know how much I'm doing. However, we're pushing the set close to failure, and that's all it's about. It could be use 100 kg to push the set close to failure. It could be less. It could be 80. Whatever it is on that day, we want to make sure we train intensely enough that we're pushing it close to the limit. And I'm happy with with the work I had done today. And then I just wanted to finish on one more hamstring movement, I believe, on the end. So the last leg session I did the laying down hamstring curl. Here we're just going to alternate it slightly with the seated version. Both good machines, good movements, but it's good to mix it up as they are going to hit the legs slightly different, from a different angle, a different stimulus. as gravity is going to play a part in the opposite direction and stuff like that. And here we went for 40 kg, but as you can see, we're going high reps again, just keeping a good amount of tension. I like to use this movement as if like we're doing a bicep curl, just keeping good tension on the movement, trying to feel as much blood in the hamstring as possible, and just like high reps, like 15, 20 reps. Again, just fail whenever we feel like we've done enough. And like I was thinking about doing walking lunges on the end of this, but I was like, nah, just save it, save your energy. You feel taxed today. I still got about 6k steps I need to get in, so I'm just going to edit this video now, put it out today for the Sunday, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.